So I'd like to start off this video by giving a shout out to 2kTournament, the organisation which organised the competition, which I'll be doing a recap of. So big shout out to them, thanks for your great work. Secondly, I'd like to give a shout out to FamousEnough, who is not only the founder of 2kTournament, so big shout out to him for that, but just generally the good work that he does in the 2K Pro Am community by retweeting everyone's tweets and just keeping everyone up to date, so thank you so much. We can see there's 15 matchups in the first round between 30 of the top Xbox teams, and there's only the one bye for Hun Nation. We can see here the first game is competed by Lethal, who are competing on both consoles, and On Point. We can see Lethal were led by Rhea, who had 20 points, 5 rebounds and 3 assists with only 1 turnover while shooting 70% from the field, as they won 69-63. The next game featured Island Gang and Space Jam, with Island Gang getting the win from a score of 80-73. You can see for Island Gang, Slay Island led the team with 35 points and 9 assists, while for Space Jam, Ramo and Hotshot combined for 46 points. Next game featured Team Swish and Guerrilla Warfare, with Team Swish coming out on top by a score of 75-51. Damaris with 30 points, 9 assists and 5 rebounds, while Saver had 22 points and 4 assists for Guerrilla Warfare. The next game took place between Weeball Different and Optic, with Weeball Different coming out on top by a score of 101-68, Aztec having 32 points and 13 assists while shooting 85% from the field. Apologies for the poor picture quality. The next game was between CKZ and One Way, with CKZ coming out on top by a score of 67-60. For CKZ, Jay had 21 points and 8 assists while only missing 1 shot, while Iverson had 20 and 12 for One Way. The next game was between About Business and Next In Line, with About Business winning by a score of 70-67. Zay Pappy had 26 points and 7 rebounds for About Business, while Tone had 24 points and 9 assists for Next In Line. The next game was between Effortless Talent and Throwdown, Throwdown winning by a score of 81-57. For Throwdown, Insanity had 27 points and 8 assists, while for ET, Control had 20 points and 4 assists. The next game was between Chef Gang and True Esports, Chef Gang coming out on top by a score of 93-67, Rapids with 25 points and 10 assists. The next game featured Breakout and Clamp Gods, Breakout winning by a score of 85-67. Dimes with 21 points and 13 assists, while That Boy Shots had 27 points and 9 steals. The next game featured E-Fundamentals and PVO, PVO coming out on top by a score of 81-56, Cease with 25 points and 13 assists. Next up was We Got Stick and Hardwood Nights, We Got Stick winning by a score of 72-47, Yeezus with 20 points and 5 assists. The next game featured Vibrancy Gaming and Clutch City, Vibrancy winning by a score of 88-51, Hype It Up with 32 points and 13 rebounds. So that is the end of round 1. Unfortunately, some games from round 1 I wasn't able to capture, such as Major Bump and 2 Raw, as well as Never Surrender and Slight Work. Although moving on, we are left with 16 teams going into the second round. In our first matchup, we had Lethal against Hun Nation, Lethal coming out on top by a score of 71-54, by any means Mo with 33 points and 13 assists. Next up we had Island Gang v Slight Work, Island Gang coming out on top 68-52, Slay Island with 24 points and 7 assists. In the next game we had Swish against NTOF, Swish winning by a score of 85-80, Damaris with 22 points and 19 assists. Next up was Weeball Different and Major Bump, Weeball Different coming out on top 77-68, Aztec with 20 points and 12 assists. Up next we had CKZ v About Business getting the win 76-66, Levert with 29 points and 4 steals. The next game was between Throwdown and Chef Gang getting the win 68-65, Quill with 28 points and 3 blocks. Next up we had Breakout v PVO, Breakout getting the win 70-58, Shump with 25 points and 3 blocks. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a screenshot for the We Got Stick against Vibrancy game, although we do know that We Got Stick went through. You can also see that the tournament has been narrowed down from 16 teams down to 8. So our first third round matchup was Island Gang against Lethal, Lethal winning 67-65, by any means Mo, scoring 18 points with 12 assists. For our second game, we had Team Swish against We Ball Different, Team Swish getting the win 72-66, Damaris with 30 points and 12 assists. For our third game, we had About Business taking on Chef Gang, About Business winning 73-46, Zay Pappy with 28 points and 4 blocks. Our last third round matchup, we had Breakout taking on We Got Stick, Breakout winning 74-52, with Dimes getting 24 points and 17 assists. Heading into the fourth round, our team count has dropped from 8 to 4 teams, leaving us with 2 more matchups to go before the grand final. So for our first fourth round matchup, we had Team Swish going up against Lethal, Lethal coming out on top, 83 points to 54, 31 points and 6 assists for by any means Mo, leading his team as the point guard, with Smith the Sensei with 18 points and just 3 rebounds for Team Swish. For our second fourth round matchup, we had Breakout facing About Business, Breakout getting the win 67-57. That boy Shots with 25 points and 4 rebounds, leading his team, with Zay Pappy getting 23 points and 5 rebounds for About Business. And so you can see for our fifth round and final, we have Lethal facing Breakout. Lethal, of course, making it to the final of both consoles. So we can see here in the grand final, Lethal got the win over Breakout 78-62. By any means Mo leading the team on his birthday, so happy birthday to him, with 23 points and 5 assists. There were also many other great performances, such as Rhea with 12 and 10, Shump with 24 points, and that boy Shots with 17 points and 5 rebounds. So once again, a big shout out to 2kTournament, a big shout out to all the teams and players that competed. Happy birthday Mo, and I'll see you all next week for another recap.